Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm excited. This is probably one of the most patient, tenacious human beings I've ever met. We have been trying to do the show for quite a while. This is Destiny Selormey, and I'm going to let
Right.
Destiny pronounce
Yeah.
that better.
Yeah.
Destiny comes to us from all the way across the world, has an amazing story, does so much in their world, in the world, and also in the community. And so I'm excited and honored to have you on the show. Welcome, Destiny. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Ted, and I'm glad to be on the show.
I'm excited. We know each other from LinkedIn, which,
Exactly.
which is tells a lot of your story, or at least enough to pique my interest about how does Destiny pull off all of the things that Destiny does. So we'll get into that momentarily. But before we do, I told you the audience loves origin stories. So tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, what you do, how you got here, and all of that good stuff. I think that the audience would love to hear that from you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ted, for the opportunity. My name is Destiny. I'm a Ghanaian. I'm residing here in Ghana. I never traveled out of Ghana before. I'm a social worker. I'm a feminist. I'm a counselor. I'm a victimologist. And then I'm a police officer as well. And then I'm the founder of SparkLife International, which is a non-profit organization based here in Ghana and in the US. The organization focuses on women and children, supporting them to become leaders of change in our society through training, empowerment, healthcare, agriculture, and also to fight human trafficking and other exploitation here in Ghana, US, and all over the world. So that is about me, and that is what Spark Life is doing now.
There's so much to cover, right? So you just said a whole bunch of stuff, and I want to ask questions about all of it. But before I do, when somebody is as involved, as passionate as you are about all of the things that you do and all of the wide range of things that you're involved in, where did that come from? Where does the passion come from? Did you grow up with it? Were your parents like that? Is your community like that? How did you get so passionate about helping the disenfranchised and being a feminist and all of the things that you do?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I'm somebody who wants to see people winning, especially women, to become leaders of change in our society. Now, the idea or the passion came when I was growing up. I was raised by a single mother who struggled to put food on my table, who struggled to give me the best education for me to be where I am today. So, as growing up, I love to see women growing, but I don't love to see them struggling. So, being raised by a single mother, I want to do something for women or for my society or for the world to make a change, especially for women and children to become leaders of change in our society. I have seen couple of women going through the struggle that my mom also went. So I wanted to change the little environment or the little society that I am through a non-profit organization which will focus on women and children. So the passion came when I was growing. I want to see women becoming leaders of change in our society, and also my mom inspired me to do what I'm doing now because women are more vulnerable when it comes to so many things. And the only way we can do this is through empowerment, is for us to educate the women, is for us to have time for them, for us to give them the chance to take up leadership position in every aspect of wherever maybe the chance will be. So that has really motivated me, and I'm in for what I'm doing. I'm going to take SparkLife International with my vision and mission to the international level.
So I love that your mom inspired you. I love that origin story because I think it's so important for people to understand where the passion comes from. So let's talk about, you mentioned police officer, social worker, SparkLife. You have a lot going on. But one of the things that I noticed, not only in your bio, but you mentioned it, you stressed that you are a feminist. Tell us why. What is it about being a feminist? I realized, I think culturally that's probably something that is a big deal to say out loud and to be proud of. So talk about what that means to you. What does a feminist mean to Destiny?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I grew up by a single mother who raised me to be where I am today. So the passion really to me, for me to be a feminist, I want to be an advocate for women and female children to become leaders of change in our society. So me being a feminist is through the passion I have for women to become leaders of change in our society, for me to be able to motivate them, for me to be able to give them avenue to education, healthcare, good drinking water, good food, give them training when it comes to agriculture, smart agriculture, farming. So me being a feminist, I want to be an advocate for women and female children.
Is that a challenge? I know it's a challenge worldwide. I think that people have a misperception that, let's say, because I'm in the United States, that it's super easy just because we're in the United States. But I feel like it's a challenge everywhere. If you follow any of our politics that are going on right now, we have a lot of challenges to anything that's feminine oriented in my country. But in your world, it's extra for you to do that. Have you had to break through stereotypes to do it? Have you had to endure a lot of problems or pushback from your community? Has it been a struggle for you to get that message out and to get the women to realize that they do have the power?
Yeah, for me personally, it hasn't been a problem because I know what I'm up to. I know what I want, and me seeing women struggling, it's something I really uh, don't want to see. So for me, because I have passion for what I'm doing, I don't really listen to the negative part when it comes to me speaking about women or trying to support women. Yes, there are a few challenges there, but I don't really pay attention to all those things.
I think one of the things that you touched on was trafficking. So talk about trafficking. I'm in Orlando, Florida, which is one of the top places where trafficking occurs in the United States. Talk about trafficking as far as you're concerned. Why is that an issue? And what are you doing? What are some of the things that you're doing to be able to cut down on that? Because it is rampant. People don't want to believe it, but it is going on in your own backyard and it is happening 24/7. Much worse of a problem than I think a lot of people care to talk about.
Yeah, it is really it is happening everywhere, and it's not becoming it's a social problem for even the developed countries. So the best way we can let people understand is that we have to create awareness. We have to go out there to speak about it. We have to educate the people that these are some of the issues that are really, really real. And it is happening every second, every time, every hour, it is happening. So the human trafficking is not only a problem to the developing countries, even the US, I know it's a problem. So me coming to US to do what I'm doing, human trafficking is one of the things we'll be tackling because again, women and children are more vulnerable when it comes to this. So earlier on, I mentioned that women and female children are more vulnerable when it comes to so many things. So human trafficking is one of the biggest challenge that the world is it's trying to struggle with, to accept that it is real, but it is. So we need to create that awareness. We need to go out there to educate the security services, to educate the teachers, to educate the law enforcement services, the policy makers, to understand that these are issues that are coming up. So we need to sit back. We need to start putting measures in place to solve it. And one of the things I'm passionate about to do is that I want to build a reintegration center for some of these victims when they become maybe when they are trafficked. So we have a place for them that we can keep them, we can feed them, we can give them counseling, and then reintegrate them back to the society. So it's one of the projects I'm thinking of to speak with people, especially in the US, to support me to build a reintegration center for some of these kids or some of these children when they become victim of traffic in Ghana here.
It's rampant. And if you follow the show, all my supporters and followers know that we talk about it a lot. I serve on a couple of boards, or have served on some boards where human trafficking, sex trafficking is just it's an epidemic here in the States. And I know worldwide it is even worse. Talk about SparkLife. Where did that name come from? And then you mentioned the mission before. So you have so many things that you're doing. Tell us what SparkLife does, where the name came from, and then maybe some of the ultimate goals that you want to accomplish with SparkLife.
Yeah, so SparkLife, the name SparkLife, let me say that a name that came from so many meditations since I wanted to set up my own organization. So SparkLife, I wanted to, I see women or female children being in darkness. So I wanted to give them a light which would come as a sparkling. So the name SparkLife came out that I see women who are struggling, women who are in poverty. I see them being in darkness. So I wanted to give them light. So the name Sparkle or Spark would give them light to become leaders of change in our society. So Spark is one, and then the life, I'm sparkling your life. I'm giving light to your life. So the name SparkLife come out as in sparkling your life. So I decided to do it SparkLife. So that is how the name came about.
I love it. Tell us about the mission. You have a mission. You obviously want to help women and female children. What are some of the services that you're providing? You mentioned it a little bit, because I want people to understand what your mission is so that they can rally around you and provide you the support that you need.
Yeah, so we are looking at currently one of the things we want to do in August is that we want to go into schools in Volta region and Oti region to educate the female child on issues of rape, defilement, sexual abuse. So the theme of the project is speak out. Now, we want them to speak out when they become victim of some of these issues. So it's one project that we want to educate these children. We are not leaving the male child behind, but the bigger focus or the bigger picture is on the female child, because when it comes down to some of these things, the female child is more vulnerable. So we are looking at education. We want to empower them. We want to psych them that when they become victim of some of these issues, they should go to the police station to report some of this. And then SparkLife is going to be a liaison between these kids, because some of them might not have the courage to go to the police station. So they can fall on us to support them, and then we can guide them to go to the police station to speak whatever happens. And then we are looking at supporting women in agriculture. We want to build clinics. We want to build schools. We want to give communities good drinking water. We want to support women in a way that they would become financial independent, in a way that we would, when the need arises, when we have the funding, we can support them to go into agriculture, farming, with like buying their cutlasses for them, the spraying machine, the Wellington boot, the hand glove, and then the water bottle, etc., etc. And then we are also looking at training police officers as the anti-human trafficking unit to know about some of these things, the new techniques that some of these traffickers are using, so that they would become knowledgeable about it, especially when it comes to the internet sexual trafficking that is really going on now. So we have many projects that we want to roll out.
So many. Do you ever get any rest, my friend? So tell me, what's the best way that the audience, the supporters, people who are watching, what's the best way that they can find out more about you, find out more about SparkLife, give back, get involved? What is the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so they can follow me on LinkedIn, SparkLife International, and then my name, Destiny Selormey, and then we have a website as well. So they can also, when they go on LinkedIn, every detail of the organization is there.
I think it's a blessing what you do. I think it's amazing what you do, Destiny. You and if you have a team, what you're doing, it's so critical and so important. And I just love, from the very minute we talked, I knew that your passion was important for the rest of the world and my audience to hear and see, because the work that you're doing is changing lives. And you are doing it in a way that is going to be future, long-term impact on the women and the female children. So kudos to you. Thank you for what you do. You can hear there's a little storm going on with me right now. And that means we're doing something right. Somebody's paying attention. I want to give you kudos and give you pray for you. I think it's amazing what you do, and I want my audience to get behind you. So you can go to sparklifegh.org. You can find Destiny on LinkedIn. I will tag Destiny in everything, and I'll make sure the organization's information is there. Please come back anytime. We want you to come back. We want more people need to hear your message. And I just want to let you know what a blessing it is and an honor to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much, Ted. I'm glad having me on your show as well.
Look, we did it. We did it.
Sure.
We got it.
Yeah.
You all, we talk about getting involved. A lot of you are like, what do we do globally? Well, here is a global organization that you can get behind and you can do research on and get involved. Believe me, Destiny and the women and the female children will be very happy if you get involved. It's life-changing. Thank you, my friend. You guys will be back soon. Go to SparkLifeGH.org or find Destiny on LinkedIn. We'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
As I cough. Excuse me. I'll cut this part out.